Hello, ho, ho, ho. It's the one episode rule, a podcast about first impressions. And what can I get you fine children on this Eve of Christmas episode?
Oh, pick me. Um,
You there.
me. I guess Miss Santa, can I have an anime that's good this time?
Ho, 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 heavens no.
Are we role playing? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's a complex form of roleplay. No,
Is this an ad?
how are you guys?
Hi, I'm Joey. I did an anime convention this week. It was great.
How was Holiday Matsuri?
Holiday Matsuri. It was great. I saw the Kaiji cosplayer. That's all I needed from my weekend, baby. Got me through. If you were the Kaiji cosplayer at Holiday Matsuri 2022, you have my whole entire heart. Um, anyhow, yes, it was fun. Yeah, not a lot else to report. I didn't, you know, I didn't catch a lot of the panels. I mostly hung out in the artist's alley, honestly. So,
Hmm.
shrug, shrug, shrug. You know
Louis, you
how
I
it
got
mean,
goes.
anything?
that's where it's popping, though, right?
It is where it's poppin'.
Hey there, I'm Louis. Blackwell's not here, so
Not
I,
interrupting
I,
this
I,
time.
I'm not interrupting anybody this time. Yeah. I'm good. I have this week off from work, so I'm thinking about maybe popping on some Vinland Saga or something else that we've been watching and catch up
Yeah.
on the rest of it.
Catch up
Mm.
and give us a report. I
Yeah.
really wanted to watch something when I got home from the convention, but I was so out of it. I was just like, meh. You
So,
know.
I personally haven't really been doing anything. I'm still coming off the great sickness,
Yeah.
but I'm
Wait.
mostly all right now.
the- Yeah.
Um, so you guys want some news?
Yes. Let's have some news.
I
Okay,
guess a
how
little
would
bit.
you how would you like this news delivered? Would you like the bad news and then the good news, or the good news and then the bad news?
Let's have the good news first, I
You want
think, this time.
you want good news first? Because we got two good newses and one bad news, so maybe we'll just make it a
You
sandwich.
could, yeah, sandwich. There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
probably the way to go.
Okay, so first good news: Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
Yes.
They're going to make that and they're going to air it in July
Nice.
2023.
Oh, that's so long to wait.
That's a long time, but also more of that.
More JJK for us to
That
eat.
will apparently cover two big arcs, and it will be something I didn't recognize, and the Shibuya incident, which I've heard all the JJK people talk about in
Yeah.
hushed tones.
JJK is referred to as pre-Shibuya and post-Shibuya for a reason.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now we have to acknowledge the bad news is
No.
because unfortunately the anime news Reddit forced the knowledge upon me that they are in fact making a Rurouni Kenshin remake,
Ooh,
and
yeah, I
I
did
I
hear about
am
that actually.
and I am morally obligated to remind you all that the Rurouni Kenshin man is a bad pervert and you should shun him.
Okay. So I 100% agree with you, but I have so much nostalgia for Rurouni Kenshin, dude.
I
Like, it's
know.
tough. It's tough.
It's hard.
but I'll cheer you up with some good news because
Please.
I have some news here. Is that JoJo Part 9, The JoJo Lands?
Yes.
There's a
It's
whole
set
land of
to
them.
it's set to debut on February 17th.
That's pretty close.
That's pretty close. We will
What
see
is
if we'll see if it's slightly more accessible than the extremely mysterious JoJo Leon.
whatever Iraqi's doing now with his like brainchild?
Yep. We'll find out.
so
As soon as I finish Steel Ball Run, like I said, maybe I'll try and dig
Steel
into it.
Ball Run.
Maybe I can talk about it some. But yes, What are we watching this week?
Yeah. So that was the news. I have what I suspect to be another truly wretched Christmas anime.
Oh boy. I mean, My
Uh,
Santa was pretty bad.
uh,
Mm.
every one of these I touch seems to be awful in some way. So this one, which I'll tell the viewer, I discovered just now, had a full run of 24 episodes.
Christmas anime?
Um, is called Chocotto Sister.
Oh no.
Ooh,
Oh
like,
no.
listen, sister in the name isn't usually a good
No,
indicator.
it's
Um,
not.
From the director who brought you A Grandpa for Christmas.
what? I've never heard of that.
Are you not familiar with the Hallmark film A Grandpa for Christmas?
I have not actually. I was going to say this was Lost.jpg the anime.
No, that's mean. Um, who wants this blurb?
I don't want anything to do with this stupid anime.
I'll read the blurb. Haruma Kawagwe is an only child. A long time ago, at Christmas time, his mother miscarried the child that was about to have been his baby sister. That night, young Haruma knelt down and offered up an earnest prayer. Please make my mother well again, and please give me a little sister. Years have passed, and Haruma has nearly forgotten his prayer. But Santa hasn't. One Christmas, while Haruma is least expecting it, he gets an unusual present. His sister.
All right. So let's do a quick rundown of this, and then we can discuss it. So yeah, we open on a young man. I believe he is simply an adult. He appears to have
It's
left school,
so
and
hard to tell because, like, they kind of draw everyone with squish faces in this.
he was
So.
talking about his job. So
Yeah.
um, so I assume that he's a young adult. And anyway, he's woken up by a knock at his window at like 6:30 in the morning. And he's just like, "Oh God, who is this?" And he goes to the window and opens it, and it says, "I'm opening it." And his eyes aren't quite open before he realizes that there is a motorcycle woman hovering outside of his window in on the second floor.
Yep.
Also, there's a really good dog in this scene.
He goes, "Arf."
He's great. His head is just a triangle.
Yes. Dog shaped.
I love him.
Rough.
But yeah, on a floating chopper wearing a Santa Claus hat is a woman from like Black Lagoon or something
Right.
with wraparound shades, and she's just like, "Hey, are you Haruma Kawagoe?" And he's just like, "Yeah." All right, this is for you. And she just hands him a big sack.
Yep. Sign on the dotted line.
And
I'm
just like,
Santa, by the way. Good night.
yeah. And he's just like, "Wait, you're Santa?" Then this is, yes, a Christmas present. Now sign. And he turns around and opens it. He pulls the ribbon at the top to reveal just a human girl in the sack. And he turns around, he's just like, what is this? And she's just like, "Well, it's your Christmas gift. You asked, right?" And he's just like, "Wait, but I was a little boy when I asked for asked for a little sister." And she's like, "Well, these things take time. It's not like building a robot. Building a whole human."
She literally says, if you have any complaints, say it to God.
If you have any complaints, ask God, and just drives off.
She just leaves.
Which is the funniest thing I've seen in an anime in a long time.
Oh.
I will admit the scene did convince me to give it half a shot.
If you have any complaints, ask God. That should be that should be our tagline for this show.
Yes. So
But
true.
but anyway, yeah, that's our premise. That's our inciting incident. He is left with
A whole ass child.
girl. And he's just like, "Oh God, put some clothes on," because
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that,
she got
but
delivered in like a weird like negligee. But
also he was like, "Is she even alive? Is she dead?" Because she was like,
she
she
was just
seemed very
deactivated.
dead.
Um, so yeah, she goes and puts on some of his clothes, and they're far too big for her. And he's just like, "Oh, that's kind of cute."
Hmm.
He's just like, "Wait a second, this is a strange child." And he's just like, "Oh shit, what do I do?"
I guess I'm gonna roll with it. We're going shopping.
I guess I have to roll with it. Well, he's just like, what should I should get to know you, and he's just like, I'm hungry. Let's make breakfast. And she's just like, she pulls out her little book. She has a little book about how to be a sister, and its pages appear to be completely blank.
Yeah.
I really hope they are blank because it'd be much funnier if she's just looking at a blank book.
It would be extremely funny. um, so she's just like, I'll do it. She's like, oh, you don't have to do that. It's just like that's what it says right here. It's a sister's responsibility. And then she just proceeds to just fuck in his entire kitchen.
Yeah,
She
there's
just
like explosion noises.
she just completely fucks it up in the traditional anime way.
It's
and
kind of
he's
funny.
and he's just the next scene is just him coming out of there with 2 slices of toast and some coffee. And he's just like, listen, it's okay. We all have our strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit down and talk for a second, and he's just like, you can clearly tell that like it hasn't all sunk in for him yet, and it's gonna sink in piece by piece. And it's just like, what's your name?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have a name. I'm your little sister.
Yeah, like a little robot.
He's just like, I have to call you something. It's just like, well, you should give me a name, and you should make it cute.
Yeah.
This I command. And he's just like, and this is clearly a Japaneseism that simply does not translate to English. But he decides to call her Choco because of
Choco,
her little journal, which
which
he
is
refers to with another word that sounds like Choco.
probably Chocotto, because that's
Chocotto.
what the show's title is. I assume that.
Um,
I don't know.
yeah,
He's naming her after the notebook. It's like if a child came up to you and was like, "Name me," and she's holding a notebook, and you were like, "All right, your name is Note."
it's just like you're nerd.
Yeah, something like that.
um, Mingus. Um, anyway, it's just like it's good as anything, and she seems to like it. So it's
Mhm.
like, okay, I guess we gotta go shopping because you're like a whole ass person, and the only thing I can think of is that you need your own clothes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is like reasonable.
Yep. Fair enough.
um, so yeah, the rest of it is basically them going shopping. They run into his neighbor who he seems to have a crush on.
Yeah.
Um, uh, he's just like, "Hey, Ayano," and she's like, "Oh, hello," and it's just like, "Who's this?" And she's just like, I'm
I didn't.
Oni-san's little sister." This is gonna come
Yeah.
up. I'm gonna bring this up later. She's like,
Mhm.
and she's just like, "Oh, Kawagoe's little sister." She's like, "I'm not Kawagoe. I'm Oni-san's little sister."
Yeah.
And then she gets called away, and he's just like, let's go. I can't explain this." So yeah, they go to the mall, and he's just like, should we go to women's clothes? And he's just like, I'm embarrassed because I'm a man.
Yep.
And he's just like, oh wait, no, children's is up there. You're a children, right?
Right.
This does have some vibes of like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in which he is required to take care of children.
I could see that.
It feels a little bit like like something like Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
kinda.
I can see that.
um, which makes sense because that movie did fucking numbers over there. Um, the Silent Hill is based on Kindergarten Cop. Um,
That's
so
baffling. Anyhow.
I can show it to you later.
I'd
But
much rather just talk about Silent Hill for the rest of the episode.
so anyway, um, they go up there and she's trying on clothes and stuff, and it's just like, oh, that's cute. And she's just like, oh, I've got different outfits. Look at this, look at this. And they go and check out, and the numbers just keep racking up.
Yeah, he spends like $300 or something.
Yeah, he ends up spending like $300, and he's just standing there with his wallet open, looking at the lady at the cash register, and he's like, I didn't bring enough money. Can I go take out some more money from the ATM?
Yeah.
This man is a financial submissive.
I'll be right here. I'll be right back.
He likes spending money on people for
Um,
fun.
and he goes out. He goes to get the money and comes back. And they're leaving. I think they're going down the escalator. And he looks over to the side and he sees the jewelry counter. And he sees the tackiest brooch I've ever seen.
It's like a Santa sleigh with like sparkling little gems in there.
You know,
It's just
something
like,
you're gonna wear the whole year.
yeah, exactly. It's just like get your loved ones a gift they can wear for like a week.
Yeah, right?
Before it
They'll
becomes
love
passe.
it. They will be obsessed.
Um, and he's just like, "Oh, that'd be good for Ayana, who I have a crush on." This is the subtext of the episode.
Yes.
Um, and I'm just like, "Okay, she's kind of a mid blonde. That's fine, I guess." Um, you do you, bro. And he's just like, "I should get it for," her. And he goes through like a fantasy thing, which
Hmm.
I'll say that this scene actually reassured me about this show because it actually because I feared the worst. I was
Again,
afflicted with much fear,
we
but
can get back to this, but
this scene relieved some of that fear because it showed this character what this character does whenever he is romantically interested in someone,
right.
as opposed to platonically affectionate.
Yes.
And he constructs
But
this whole scenario about how he's going to give it to her, and he thought it would look great on her and whatever. And he's just like, I'm not actually going to do that. I'm too much of a coward. And then he gets roped in by the sales lady, which you
yeah.
gotta keep your peripherals out for the sales lady because they'll get you.
Mm.
And she ropes him into talking about it, and we cut back to Choco, who's just like, okay, she's just doing her idle animation, and she looks and turns and sees a balloon going up the escalator, and
It's
it turns into heavy rain for a minute. It turns
yes.
into the Jason scene. This is the exact same scenario.
She is like, ooh, a shiny thing.
A
She
balloon.
wanders away.
She
She
wanders
goes.
away.
She
She
sees
goes.
some teddy bears.
She thinks they're great, and by the time she's doing that, um, we cut back down, and he's decided to buy it. He's been pressured into buying it.
Yep.
And he turns around, and it's just like the bag of clothes, and she's just like, "Oh shit! Oh, it's my first day."
My first sister. Even the sales lady's like, oh yeah, she went up the escalator. So
Like she went up the escalator. Was
didn't
that
even.
yours? You should have been paying
Yeah.
attention, man. um. So yeah, he chases up the escalator, but when he's going up the escalator, she's coming back to the spot where she last saw him
Right.
because that's what kids do. Because kids have more logic than you think,
Uh-huh.
but just enough to get them in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Right.
miss each other, and then he's wandering around looking for her, and he gets the service call. It's just be like, this is like, can Choco's Anarchy come to the service desk and collect your little sister?
Yeah.
Goodbye, you little shit. But
Exactly.
and he goes and gets her, and she's really upset, but she's happy to see him.
Yeah.
And to wrap it up, they're walking home, and she's still crying because she's freaked out because this is her first day on Earth,
Yeah, she like spawned in. We're gonna like I have so much
We
to
have to
talk about with
dissect
this
this,
anime. We have so much to talk about.
but she's still
That's
upset, and he's just like, "Oh, don't cry. Listen. This sort of thing happens." He's just like, what can I do?" And he's just like, "Oh, okay. I'll give her the Santa brooch as a Christmas gift, and it'll make her happy, and she'll stop crying." And she does. And then there's like this is a weirdly romantic scene, but I think maybe it's just because we're anime poisoned. Um,
I don't know. We can discuss it in a bit, but
but yeah, it's got the Sailor Moon orbs and shit in it. And she gives him a great big kiss on the cheek. And he's just like, "Oh, what was that for?" It's just like, "Well, you gave your little sister a Christmas present. Shouldn't she give you a kiss back?" And
that's
he's
what
just
it
like,
says in the
"Oh,
book.
that's what it says in the book."
I just want to
Um,
say the way they not paint, but the way they drew the scene, like she kissed his cheek, but she kissed the cheek facing away from the camera.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
it was scary.
yeah.
uh,
No, like, mm,
it was
there's
scary, but
it's really weird because this show has some undertones that I don't like. What are they? We'll
but it
talk
was just
about it.
suspicious. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. And then the ending is extremely upbeat Eurobeat song about cats.
Yeah, Nico Nyan Dansu.
yeah,
Which again also made me sus because of the way that they were making these children move.
Yeah. So
Mm.
so that's the end of it. I am assured by a review on the My Anime that it is a platonic relationship
Uh-huh.
between brother and sister.
Sure, because we can definitely trust my anime list reviewers, but
Listen, that's the only assurance that I have.
listen, that's like listening to what's his
mm,
face from Game of Thrones, the Baratheon being like, "Nah, Cersei and Jamie have a uh fucking platonic relationship." I just called him Jamie, but we're gonna move on.
um okay, here's my thing about this particular show is even if it is intended for
Oh, we didn't cover the flashback because we
fucking
really
The
flashback because yeah, they
God,
went to the food court in the
we
mall.
really have to cover the flashback. We have to stop and
It's
cover the
pretty
flashback
important. It is pretty
because
important.
this whole episode reads as a very twee kind of bland slice of life thing, except for this because we have a flashback at the food court where he flashes back to being a little boy hanging around with his mom in the kitchen, telling her about how whenever he has a little sister, he's gonna play with her and protect her from bullies and look after her and everything. And she is clearly pregnant.
Yes, she has the belly, she has the tummy.
And she says, "I don't even know what it is yet, son." And
He's
she's
like,
like,
"It's
"I
a
know what it is.
sister. I had a
I
dream about it."
I had a dream about it." And then there's another scene where he's drawing her and talking about it, and she's just like, "You're gonna be such a good big brother." And then there's another scene where she's in a hospital bed
This is
and
why
she
I
has
made the
lost
lost
the
joke.
baby. And she says, I'm afraid your little sister isn't gonna make it."
Yeah.
And it is such a hard right turn into
Yes.
just misery.
Yes, it's shocking. Also, like
It's so
there's
shocking.
the part okay, the part where he's praying to God, I guess.
He's praying to God. I thought he was gonna ask God for a little.
Okay, here's the line that he says. He says something like, um,
He
don't
says make my mother well again. And Santa, please give me a sister if she
yes.
can.
If
Which
she
is
can't, which implies that she died.
oh no,
he
she
just
didn't
assumed
die.
she got a hysterectomy.
No, she said I can't have another baby.
Oh. See, it's so weird, and I don't.
The fact that the mom doesn't show up in present day does make me a little sus. But
Well,
I,
I think
he
it's
just
because he's
lives
an
on his
adult.
own. Yeah.
then I hate to break it to you, that's not your little sister. That's your fucking daughter.
Hmm.
I don't.
I guess that's she's more like your adoptive daughter.
Yeah, like not legit daughter,
Yeah,
but like
kind
adopted
of.
daughter.
Kind of.
But yeah, we can get into some
0 out of 10.
some surface level criticism before we get into the epistemology of this,
Sure.
which is this show is ugly.
It's
This
it
is
it's terrible, hideous to look at.
It
it is of
feels
it
really
is
cheaply drawn.
it is of the same genre as like Azumanga Dao, but it doesn't look good.
I hate
Um,
whenever she opens her mouth, the way that they draw her open mouth. It looks so bad. I can't believe it.
it is
Uh,
part. It also has the stank of that period of time where they were transitioning from full cell animation to computer animation.
Yes.
Um,
I got
Also,
slight Higurashi vibes from the art.
a little bit. um,
I don't know.
Just the way with the
Higurashi,
eyes and the face shape are.
Higurashi overall looks better, but
I can see like
The
kind of where you're
smushiness of it.
coming from. They're little squish beans, but
Yeah.
the thing is
also some of the animation in the intro was running at, I swear to God, like 8 frames a second.
yes, I was gonna say like there's certain parts where you're just like, oh, they just gonna cut like this is literally caramel dancing like on
Hmm.
YouTube in
Yeah.
2007 vibes.
Also, it
Um,
just struck me. I think the fucking outro animation was made by a different
yes, because
company
it looked better.
because it looked better and different and was a little a little like bizarrely sexually charged,
Yeah, a little hornier, yes.
which is weird. Not
Um,
not as much towards the sister, thank God, but the
mm,
extremely slutty neighbor.
occasionally towards the sister, unfortunately.
um,
Like she was a little cat girl and she was shaking her ass, and I was like, "Oh no, don't do that." Um, the other criticism I will say is the amount of people that sounded like they were talking into tubes in this show.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like when specifically when he's talking to the sales lady at the counter, she sounded like this.
Just like, can you repeat that into the microphone?
Yeah.
Um,
I was like, Jesus Christ.
okay, so into the cosmology
Yeah.
of
Oh
Chocotto
God.
Vista. The fridge there's so many fridge logic things here that it's difficult to organize my thoughts. But it's
Right.
just like, what what is he gonna do about school?
Yeah. Um,
She
here's
doesn't. Here's the worst thing. Here's the worst thing. She doesn't know his name
right because
because
she
when he introduces her to the neighbor, she says, "I'm not Kawagoe. I'm Oni-chan's little sister." That's the only identity she has, and she doesn't know his name, so she calls him Oni-chan.
she doesn't know a lot of things. She's never seen snow before because there's a very specific scene where she's like doing the wonders of stepping into snow. And
It's
also
cute.
like she's like it was cute, but also she was backing up and I thought she was going to back into the street and get isekai'd.
Yeah,
Um
you get hit by truck, Chan.
she
God,
kind
I
of just
wish.
fell over. But like the amount of things that she doesn't understand. I'm like, did she spawn in? Where did they keep her for how old is she?
How
Um
old is she? She's a
did this
child, so I would say it's anywhere from 6 to 10. But
did it take her like did it take them so long to get to him because they like someone actually gave birth to her and they just like had her like cooking for all these years?
I assume they made her in a petri dish and grew her in a tank until they delivered her.
Yeah, like
I choose to believe that Santa fucking kidnapped a child.
She was vat grown.
um
Santa just plucked someone out of the nursery and kept them in the North Pole for
No,
so
no,
yeah,
X amount of years.
I fully believe that she's straight up a vat child. She has no
she
fingerprints. She doesn't have.
absolutely was
She doesn't.
blonde.
Yeah, she doesn't have a belly button. She's.
And, like, okay, how does she how is he going to like get away with this? Someone's going to ask questions eventually, right? Like you can't like logically in a real world you couldn't get away with this. And
Yeah, like how is he gonna like somebody's like how's he gonna make a life for this person? Because
yes,
that's the only moral thing that he can do is like try and prepare her for life as a human.
yeah, where is he gonna get her in a fucking ID from?
Like, where's he gonna get her fucking?
You know she ain't got a birth certificate, like
Like, she's got no papers.
What if like she's from a different? She's an illegal immigrant, technically.
Yeah, from the North Pole.
uh okay.
Send her back to the Arctic.
The second thing that we have to talk about is the underlying I don't like the underlying fan service in this show
I don't like it.
No.
because it's really fucking like okay, this is why I'm saying like I don't trust the My Anime List people because they're like, "Oh yeah, the relationship is platonic. Don't be worried." Okay, even if that ends up being completely true in the end, they are providing fan service that is making people wonder if that's true. They're doing like the first thing that they do is show panty shots of the child.
Mhm.
That did happen. I tried not to think about it. Thank you.
Like kind of graphic like
It was
the art
detailed.
style in this is mostly like kind of simple, but when they showed the panty shots, it was like like kind of weirdly detailed. And it's like, hey, what the fuck is this?
Hey, what are
And
you
then
doing?
like they're providing this fan service for the people who are watching. That's 100% why they did the kiss thing. Like they want people to kind of be into that. And it's bad. It's nasty. I hate it. I hate it a lot.
Yeah, it makes you feel paranoid to watch
Yeah.
this because you're just like, what are you doing? Do I
And
have
then
to
they
check the shed? What?
and then they fucking trick you because then in between all of that shit there'll be like surprisingly cute scenes because he was like, oh, I guess I better take you clothes shopping. And I was like, oh no, they're gonna make this a nasty pervert thing. And then they go clothes shopping and it's like really wholesome and cute and she's just trying stuff on like a normal like montage and you're like, oh, they're having a good time. But then it's like uh
It's
I'm over
anyhow.
it. I'm over it.
it's
I've
right.
compartmentalized it. I'm ready. Let's just end the episode right now.
No. I also
It, it's a bad and unique feeling to think like this because it means you've been poisoned by the genre.
yeah, okay, I've been poisoned, but I can
Mhm.
see the fact that they're still putting in stuff. And I'm like, I may be poisoned, but you motherfuckers who are drawing this, you know what you're doing, and I don't trust you. So I don't care if I'm being overly paranoid. I will continue to be. Stop putting panty shots. Um
Stop it! Stop it! Why are you doing that? It's just
completely different tangent, but the amount of inhuman anime girl noises in this.
yeah.
There's one part where she literally just goes, "Ooh, ew, I literally can't do it.
Can't make that noise. Anyway, I take it that none of us will be continuing to watch the 24 episodes of
No.
this.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. I'm fucking over it. I
I'm
think the
gonna.
next episode isn't even Santa related. Like,
It's
I
probably
mean,
not.
no, there was a preview at the end, and it's about New Year's. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you
I
want to
peaced out
watch
by
this,
then.
if you want to time it, I
Uh,
wonder actually if this was airing so that it, like, in such a way that the first episode aired on Christmas and then the next aired on like around New Year's and such.
No,
probably.
no. It starts in fucking July.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, that's been another excursion into
Eye is
the
twitching.
bizarre Japanese perspective on the Western Christmas tradition.
I think it's really funny that you'd never hear anything about people praying to God unless it's in the Christmas episode. And then it's like surprisingly often, and then you're just like, huh.
Uh, anyway, if you'd like to offer up a prayer to Kami-sama for Christmas, then you can send us that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one the word, not the number. I do like that we have labeled ourselves as God. If you have any other complaints about our show, tell it to God.
Tell it to God.
We're at One Episode Cast on Twitter.
And can I plug something real quick?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure.
So last night I started working on an unofficial One Episode Rule Spotify playlist.
Oh
So go check that out on Spotify. It's public.
It's really
Follow
good.
it if you wanna. It contains the theme songs of the shows that these guys have watched. Some of them I've seen.
Specifically, the banger.
Yeah, the good
ones.
stuff. Not like the one from this episode.
Yeah, no, we didn't do. We couldn't. You could put Nico Neon Dance on there. It was kind of
Okay.
funny, at least.
Distressingly, the Higurashi theme doesn't appear to be available on Spotify.
Yeah.
No, it's on there.
Oh, is it?
It's on there.
Okay, good.
The Umi
I've already
Neko one
forgotten.
wasn't.
So yeah, better or worse than Itsudate My Santa?
Oh, I'm gonna say slightly worse, if only because it made me so paranoid. And also is doing fan service of the child. At least with Itsudate My Santa, they're all kind of approximately the same age, I think.
Everybody seemed to be like vaguely adults.
Yes.
I'm saying, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a treat. It's by the Love Hina guy, and it is crazy.
Go ahead and give it a watch for this holiday season.
Yeah, I might have
Or
to
just
look
go
that up.
back and watch our episode about it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll go watch the episode and then I'll listen to you guys. And I'll come complain to you guys and be like, "Why'd you make me listen to this?"
So anyway, from our family to yours, we're taking next week off.
Yep. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Have a great holiday.
Happy Hanukkah.